Okay, in this video I'm going to show you how I use that applique stitch on my sewing machine to put a racing stripe down the side of the doll pants. So what I did is I cut my pattern out. So I've got it on freezer paper. This is just a knit t-shirt fabric. And what I'm going to do to match a blouse, I'm going to match this, and I'm going to put this strip straight down the side of these pants with the applique stitch. Okay, so first thing I want to do is I want to make sure I get that strip even. So I'm going to fold my paper in half. You don't have to do this if you have a good eyesight and you can figure out where the middle is, or just measure and get the middle. So I've got my middle here, so I'm going to put my pattern back on here. And I'm going to take a piece of chalk and I'm going to mark right down the center so I have a guideline for myself. I just broke the chalk. Okay, so that's pretty much, I don't know if you can see it on the picture or not, see it on the camera, but I've got a blue line straight down the center. So if you don't need to do that, then don't. It's just because my eyesight's getting bad, so I have a hard time finding the center of things. So what you want to do is you want to put a couple, let's see, which side do I want this? I want to give yourself some edge on the top so you have something to grab on your machine has something to grab onto. So let's just go ahead and center that over that blue line of chalk. Make sure it's straight top and bottom, and you want to put in some pins. With this lycra, or even if it's the polyester knit or lycra knit, you're going to want to give yourself some room, so in case it stretches and pulls, you want to try and get it as straight as possible. So let's just go ahead and put some pins in there. If it stretches, we'll be able to move it around as we sew. Okay, so there we've got it centered. I'm using an odd contrast so you can see better than the purple didn't show up very well in the camera on the gray, but let's see if this will show up better. Okay, I'm using gray thread, but you can use any color you want. I'm using my gold embroidery 7511 needle. I'm using just plain old gray thread, not the best thread in the world, but I'm still having okay use with it. I'm going to go to the applique stitch, which in my machine is number 19. So it's this one right here. Let me see if I can find that piece of fabric that I had already sewn on. I don't see it anymore. Here we go. This one right here. This is the applique stitch. This is the stitch we're going to be using on these pants. So what you want to do is your first needle position is going to be right between, make sure you can see this, when your needle goes down, it should go right there, right between the fabric and the lycra on the top. That's where stitch 1 goes. So line it up on your machine. Let me see if I use that. For my applique stitch, what I did was I used 3525. I set my machine for that, but that seems to work good on these pants. Okay, so you want to make sure that needle goes down completely in that spot we picked. So do needle down position, or put your needle down, and make sure that it's between the lycra and the knit. Make sure you can see what I'm sewing. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. So I'm just going to go ahead and start sewing. I'm going to take that first needle out. You might want to hold your lycra down a little bit as you're sewing, because it tends to want to puff up and twist on you. Oh, I just lost a stitch. Didn't lose it before, I wonder why. Alright, let me try going a little faster. Maybe I was just going too slow. Okay, see how that's trying to twist on me? So what you want to do is you want to lift up your pressure foot if you have to and get it back into the right position. Another thing you can use is that Wonder Under and actually iron it on, and then it won't move at all and you don't have to worry about it, but you may not like that stiffness. Another option would be to take your glue, your school purple stick glue, and glue it down, let it dry, and then bring it over to the sewing machine. As long as the glue is dry, it will hold itself in place. But you really don't need to do that with this. This will stay if you just hold it down with a pen in the right location. And you don't have to worry about it fraying because lycra is that won't fray on you. Okay, so we're just going to go all the way down until we get to the bottom. I'm going to get in the way of the camera a little bit just so I can go faster, so you can see the one side. Okay, see how it's pulling on me a little bit here? So pick up your lycra and move it so it's flatter. Okay, I'll get rid of this needle, this pin. Make sure I'm lined up in the center of my line. And this applique stitch, since it goes back and forth, it has a little stretch to it. Okay, so we are off the bottom. Okay, so that is one side of the pair of sport pants. Okay, now the other side is going to go a lot faster because you don't have to worry about it. It's going to stay more in shape on the second side. So let's go ahead and just start from the bottom and work our way back to the top. So same thing, needle position right down the center. Okay, so let's go ahead, and if you have a pressure foot that has a clear opening so you can see right in there, that's a good thing to have too if you have one of those. Okay, I'm going to go a little bit faster. Oh, I don't think I laid that flat enough. Okay. Up, smooth out. Okay. Okay, it tends to want to buckle on you. Alright, let's just finish this up. So there you go with the, I went a little off up here a little bit because I was on camera. You'll do better when you're looking, when you're right on top of your stitching, you'll be able to see better. So you just want to turn this under, cut off your residue on the top and the bottom, and it's just like, I mean, you can cut your fabric together and piece and everything in, but it's so much easier to do it this way. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this under, put a seam here, use my little zigzag, and then sew my pants together, and then I'll make a matching blouse to go on the top of that. Let me see if I have a... So that's the difference between the purple and then the purple. But it's pretty, and they make cute little pants. Okay, so I'll see you guys later. Have a good one.